Netflix is a toxic love story. The woman framed by her ex-fiancé. Imagine spending 88 days behind bars, facing the possibility of life in prison, all for a crime you didn't commit. That was the horrifying reality for Michelle Hadley. Michelle, a California woman, found herself at the center of a chilling plot. She was accused of a heinous act, using online advertisements to send men to sexually assault her former fiancé's new wife. Threatening emails, eyewitness accounts, and men claiming to respond to rape fantasy ads initially painted a damning picture, seemingly confirming the accusations against her. But as investigators soon discovered, almost everything presented as evidence was a fabrication. The so-called victims were, in fact, the perpetrators. This shocking tale, a true story of manipulation and injustice, is now being revisited in Netflix's compelling new documentary, A Toxic Love Story. It delves into the 2016 case involving Michelle Hadley, her former fiancé Ian Diaz, and his then-wife Angela Connell, who used the name Angela Diaz during their marriage. Michelle's nightmare began after her relationship with Ian Diaz ended in 2015. They had met online in 2013 and even bought a condominium together. When they separated, a dispute over the property and their finances lingered. Not long after, in January 2016, Ian met Angela online and married her the very next month. Angela then moved into the condo Ian had shared with Michelle. Starting in June 2016, Angela Diaz reported to Anaheim police that she was receiving increasingly violent emails, threatening her and her alleged unborn children. She also claimed Michelle was impersonating her online and directing men to her home for rape fantasy encounters. On June 24, Angela even called 911, alleging a man had entered her garage and attempted to assault her. Michelle was arrested that day and released on bail, only to be arrested again on July 14, held on a staggering $1 million bail as the alleged threats continued. Authorities initially painted her as a jilted ex-lover consumed by a calculated revenge campaign. She faced felony charges, each carrying a potential life sentence. Yet problems with the case quickly emerged. After Michelle's first arrest, Angela reported that the emails had stopped. But when Michelle was released, the threatening messages mysteriously resumed, even though Michelle had no access to her email. Michelle remained jailed until October 7, 2016, when prosecutors, after re-examining the evidence, released her. By January 2017, all charges were dismissed, and she was publicly declared fully exonerated. The truth, when it finally emerged, was even more twisted. Investigators traced the threatening emails and sexual advertisements not to Michelle, but to the condominium shared by Ian and Angela Diaz, Angela's cell phone, and even her father's home in Arizona. Angela Diaz had used multiple email accounts, VPN, and proxy servers to conceal her tracks. She had sent threats to herself, impersonated Michelle, and provided men with photographs of herself, her address, and details about her daily routine. The investigation unveiled a wider pattern of deception from Angela. She had faked cervical cancer, pretended to be an attorney, forged doctor's notes, fabricated a pregnancy, and even altered checks. In October 2017, Angela Diaz pleaded guilty to a slew of charges including kidnapping, false imprisonment, forgery, perjury, grand theft, and falsely reporting crimes. She was sentenced to 5 years in state prison. But the shocking revelations didn't stop there. Ian Diaz, who initially insisted he knew nothing, was exposed as the true mastermind behind the entire plot. A federal probe launched in 2017 revealed his deep involvement. Ian was indicted in 2021 and, as a criminal investigator, was relieved of his duties. A jury later convicted him of conspiracy to commit cyberstalking, perjury, and obstructing a federal proceeding. He was sentenced to a brutal 10 years and 1 month in prison, with officials stating that his egregious actions and lies stripped a woman of her freedom and liberty. In the aftermath, Michelle Hadley filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Anaheim, several city employees, Angela Diaz, and Ian Diaz. In April 2021, she reached a settlement with the city of Anaheim, with separate agreements finalized with Angela Diaz. While the financial terms remain undisclosed, it brought some closure to Michelle after her unimaginable ordeal. This case stands as a stark reminder of how easily a person's life can be turned upside down by a toxic web of lies. It's a story of injustice, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of truth, now brought back to the forefront by a toxic love story on Netflix.